And I'm not sure if you know, the life is about knowing, and you can't go higher than your levels of knowledge with regards to what you know. What brings people or what brings them to a point of celebration is a function of what they know and how they are able to deploy that which they know to help people or to build a great enterprise. Why we believe so much in the mercies of God, which God per time makes available unto us. And we also trust His favorable will and hand per time. It's important for you to know that acquiring necessary and relevant knowledge becomes part of what God dwell within in the process of achieving His purpose for your life. I would like to share with you three key principles that have helped me a lot. It has helped me as a researcher and also to build a flourishing research group. I've used these principles to mentor diverse people from different parts of the world in my different mentorship and coaching programs. And I've also used it as a template in the process of guiding experts and professionals in their diverse careers and engagements. I define this principle using the word capital, and there are three specific principles. The first is stable capital, the second is progressive capital, and the third, but not the least, is capacity capital. Now, stable capital is my simple way of talking about character. Stable capital means character. There is nothing you can achieve without a good and right character. I've met, if I may say, successful idiots. These are people that, quote and unquote, they have achieved what we describe ephemerally as success, but they do not have character. I've worked with smart students, smart researchers, smart believers, intelligent technologists without character. And one of the things people look out for beyond your levels of competence is character. Most of the times, character can deliver to you opportunities that your competence can never access. And the moment you understand that competence is one thing, but it is limited, character is the other, but it can take you beyond what your imagination can deliver to you in terms of goods and services, and most of the times in terms of opportunities. Character is very essential, and people can pay for gifts, people can pay for talents, people can buy brains, but they can never buy character. Character is expensive, and no matter how rich you are, you can't pay enough to secure it. So it's become very important for you to start learning how to live a life that is guided and guarded by right character. People respect you not because you are smart only, but because you have a character that is trustworthy, it is noteworthy, and also it can help you to to build resilience as an employee, as a student, even as a boss, as a mentor, or a lecturer or a supervisor. Let's start helping people within our sphere of influence to think in the areas of character, not only depending on their levels of competence. Character is very essential. And when you look at it biblically, you realize that most of the people that God worked with in purpose were men that have good character. And for those who he had in mind to use or intended to use, but came from the low levels of character in terms of divination, he had to work on them first. When you look at Joseph, Joseph was a little arrogant, but God had to work on his character before he could shine as a prime minister in a strange country. When you look at David, he was anointed a king as a teenager, but he didn't get to a point of rulership or kingship until God took him through that character transformational experience. Now, it is good for us to know that people can be brilliant, but it is more important for us to see relevance to character. Character is essential, and you can't shortchange character. You can't you can't beat character. You can't in any way put character second when it comes to special criteria or factors that people need when it comes to expressing their ability in the Hall of Fame or any boardroom that you might find yourself. A boss with a good character is going to build a great organization. An employee with a good character is going to be a great leader. Leaders with good character will build great nation because character will help you not to be sentiment. It will help you or not to be sentimental. I beg your pardon. It will help you not to be unnecessarily selfish. And sometimes it's going to guide your approach to whatever you do because it will make you to put others in your shoes before you judge them. Character is key and you need character. Character beats race. It transcends tribe. Wherever you find yourself in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, in the Caribbean, character is a standard. And you have to start with the standard of character wherever you find yourself, whichever career of your choice. Character will go a long way in helping you to build a fulfilling character in fulfillment of your purpose and your God-ordained mandates. The second capital is progressive capital. And this talks about transferable skills. Now, one thing is for you to be able to acquire skills in any career of your choice. But the other is your ability to transfer that skills in the process of living a fulfilling life. I've met skillful people, but their skills are restricted to one aspect of life. They can't deploy that skills to other aspects of their lives. For example, if you are a researcher, the skills that you need to design a successful experiment is not different from the skills that you might need to develop a good proposal that can win you a business grant or business fellowship, or a grant that can help you to develop a new idea or build a new enterprise. So the same idea you need to process data is not different from what you need as a business person when you are trying to develop a new idea that can revolutionize the course of time. So what you learn as a student in your chemistry class or in your mathematics class or as an English student will be applicable to other aspects of your life if you know what it means to transfer skills. What recruiters want to pay for, what leaders and employers are looking out for are not skillful men. They are looking for men that can apply those skills and transfer those skills to other aspects of life. So it means that if you succeed as a student, you can also succeed as an entrepreneur. Why? You are leveraging that skills also to build a kind of small scale business that can help people or solve problems. Now, if you have what it takes to excel as maybe a research leader, you might also have what it takes to build a research institute. It's just about applying those principles. And one of the things you have to learn when it comes to skills is that you don't research skills or restrict it to one aspect of life. Find a way to go beyond the boundary, to transfer your skills to other aspects of life that can bring fulfillment or new stream of income to you. And again, people respect those who can go beyond their just level of expertise to acquire new skills that can help them to do other things that are not within their jobs descriptions. And that is why some players on the football pitch, they are called utility players. Their replacement is difficult, or they make their replacement so difficult because they can perform any role on the pitch. They can serve as a goalkeeper, they can play in the defense, they can operate in the defensive midfield or as defensive midfielders, they can score goals, and they can also express their talents as wingers. So, and this is because they have taken their times to apply different skills they've acquired in the process of retaining or training to other aspects of their lives. And remember, in the biblical story of Jesus' expressive ministry, he was not only healing the sick, he was also delivering the oppressed. He was also helping those people that were poor. He was healing those people that had genetic diseases. He was also helping those people that have infectious diseases. He was going beyond that, and he was also discussing philosophical principle with the teachers of the law. He knows the laws, he knows philosophy, he understood psychology. And when you look at what happened in the case of the Hebrew boys that were captured in Babylon, captured from Babylon, these were men that have knowledge in different kinds of field. They understand science and they understand linguistics. They can speak different languages. They understand psychology, and they have what it takes to stand before the king or to operate in the presence of the king. Why? They have been able to deploy their skills to different aspects of life. And these are people that can change the world. These are people that can change their community. Why? They have different skills. These skills can be leveraged and that can be deployed. And lastly, we have what we call capacity capital. Capacity capital talks about consistent relevance. Character is one thing. Your ability to use that character to acquire transferable skills is the other. But you must be able to express consistent relevance wherever you find yourself. There are people that they are just one-time champion. They are just one-time hero. But there are people that are consistent champions. Why? They operate relevance that is consistent anywhere they find themselves. When you put them in Africa, they can triumph, they can thrive. When you put them in Asia, they are not limited by location. They are not restricted by geographical boundaries. They operate with parallel universe concepts. When you put them in Europe, they shine. When you take them and you put them in the Caribbean, they do well. When you send them to Australia, they are doing well. Why? They have consistent relevance. And that is why they do well as a mother. They do well as a wife. They do well as a sister. They do well as a sister-in-law. They operate well as a father. And they perform very well as a boss at the place of their assignment and work. So these are three key principles that you need to operate well, to live a good life. You need character. You need to acquire skills that can be deployed and transferred, and your relevance must be consistent, not that it is limited by what limits people or distraction by what distract people all around you. These are key skills that you need, and these are principles that can guide you in the process of building your career and develop a life or build a life that will be enviable to people around you and God will be very proud of. It's high time you come to that understanding, and it's high time you begin to live